Mañana Latino Expo Show.
Welcome everyone to our Access Participant Spotlight segment, where we will highlight different career journeys of Latinx professionals in our city. It's great to have you all with us again. My name is Fabio, Yataco, and I am a co-founder of the Access Professional Leadership Program.
And I am María de León, a student at Butler University and Access alum, and we are your hosts for this monthly segment on the ILE show.
So today we have two Access participants, Fernanda and Destiny. Welcome you two. We are excited to have you both on our Access Participant Spotlight segment. And today's topic, we'll be covering how you both, young professionals in our city, became involved in local government.
Yes, welcome Destiny and Fernanda. So to start us off, can each one of you tell us a little bit about yourselves, like where you attended school, what you majored in, and where you currently work at?
I can go first. Hi, everybody. I'm Destiny Burgos. I currently serve as the Deputy Communications Director for the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. I went to IU for my undergrad, and I majored in Public Relations. And I'm currently in grad school at IUPUI pursuing a Master's of Public Affairs.
Well, my name is Fernanda Ramírez. I'm currently working at the City County Council, and I'm attending Ivy Tech, and hopefully I'm able to transfer to IUPUI for a bachelor's in business administration.
So since we are talking about your specific roles working in local government, could you share a little bit about your day-to-day tasks in that role? Destiny, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, definitely. In my day-to-day role at my organization, I serve as a spokesperson, meaning I really help facilitate communication with my organization and the community. And this can be through email, through social media, through our website. I would say the main aspect of my job is just making sure our communication is as transparent as possible.
Well, my day-to-day tasks involve assisting counselors and just with things like special resolutions and assisting constituents get in contact with their counselors with any issues or concerns that they may have, and preparing for committee meetings, clerking meetings, things like that.
Wow, it seems like those two positions definitely keep you both busy. And I'm just going to say thank you both for being public servants. I think regardless of the role, it's definitely something that we all need, and we appreciate the work that you all do. So it's good to hear that you guys are involved. And something that you guys got involved in recently was the Access Professional Leadership Program. So I'm curious to know why you chose to apply to the program, and what has been your biggest takeaway so far?
I think what initially drew me to the program was the opportunity to establish myself as a leader within the Latino community, but then also the ability to develop my skills professionally. But what I've gained from the program has been so much more, especially just the sense of community. I just remember during our first session looking around and seeing this group of Latinos. I mean, I've never been in a room like that. So just being part of it is inspiring. To have a group of people that all want to see you succeed, it's been just really amazing to be a part of it.
So Fernanda, tell us a little bit about, you've been involved in different programs, and, we all, we just heard about what you do for the city. Obviously, another thing that keeps you busy is Access, right? So you recently joined a new program. Tell us a little bit about, why you chose to apply to the program, and what has been your biggest takeaway so far?
Well, I agreed with Destiny. My biggest takeaway has been the sense of community and just seeing this whole new world of different young professionals. And it gives me a lot of hope for the city and for us Latinos overall in the United States. We're not as represented as we would like to be, but seeing these amazing people that I've met, I have a lot of faith and hope. So that's the takeaway for me, learning from everybody. I've learned a lot already.
Yes, I can totally agree as well. When I was an Access participant, I was also very amazed that we are represented in different industry, not many like in a specific sector, but we're definitely out there, and it gives me hope that our community will continue to grow and will continue to be represented throughout the years. So yes, that was amazing. So my question is, looking back at how your careers have developed after high school, can each one of you describe your journeys in pursuing a career in local government, whether your goal was to actually land a job in government or not? And Fernanda, would you like to start us off?
So after high school, I didn't really have like a goal in mind. I feel like sometimes that just makes me feel like there's many people out there that may not feel like they have a straight path to follow. But if they follow a path, that if they follow something that they like they might end up working in a job that they like it was my case. After high school, I didn't really have like a goal, or I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I started off at my current job after having like a lot of temporary jobs. I started off as a receptionist, and then I started liking it. So I started really working hard, and then I was promoted, and then I started learning more. So I think I found the place that I want to stay in, and it encouraged me to go back to school too. So that's been my journey pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think, we think we want to have a direct path to our specific goals, but sometimes that may just not be it. And I think, and that's okay, and I think that's why we want to have and bring in these different Latinx professionals to show that, that the path may not be, graduate from high school and directly go to college and boom, you land your career, so yeah, so thank you for that. Destiny?
Yeah, I definitely echo what you guys are saying. I mean, my path was anything but straightforward. So throughout my life, I really enjoyed writing. So that's what led me to communications. And I worked in multiple different PR firms, different advertising agencies. And it really wasn't until my senior year of college where I found my niche for government. And that was when I was interning at the Indiana State Senate. And that's just really where I got exposed to working in government and just, really enjoyed it. I liked seeing legislation move. I liked networking and the people that I was working with. So that was what really led me to here.
Yeah, so my next, follow-up question was going to be, did you always have it in mind to pursue a career in government? And based on both of your experiences, it's something that kind of came up because of your past experiences. So I guess my question would be then, what advice would you give someone then who maybe doesn't really necessarily know what they want to pursue, whether when they're in high school or in college or even after they graduate from college? And Fernanda, you can go ahead.
So my advice kind of goes back to like the last question, that you don't have to have like this perfect start, like being a straight A student and go from high school to college. Like it's okay to try different things and then just keep seeing what you like. And for me, my experience is I didn't know I would like local government. Before this job, I wasn't interested in anything like local government. As I started learning, I started liking knowing what goes on in our city and what affects us. So that would be my advice, to just keep trying different places until you feel like you fit in, and to not feel like because you didn't have a straight path, like you can't do anything.
Yeah, I guess if we're specifically talking about people that are unsure where they fit in, I would say, look at the skills that you have. And, for me, that was writing, and that's what led me to where I am today. But yeah, look at the skills that you have and try working in different industries. It takes nothing to intern. And, if you can have that experience and see and try it out, I think that is the most helpful and best thing that you can do for your career.
Yeah, definitely. I think I would agree with both of what you both are saying. I think finding a path and having an understanding of where you're going to end up, I think it all goes back to like understanding your purpose, right? Discovering your purpose and having an understanding that that might change at times, but having that sense of direction will definitely help be that guide. So definitely anybody who's listening to this and that kind of is still unsure, may not know, might have a goal, might not know, it might be in the process of adapting that goal, know that based on what we're learning today, right, is having a sense of direction, using your skills, and taking things from what you've already learned, past experience, to really begin to shape what your purpose might be. And, that's in itself the journey of life, right? So kind of centering us back to the conversation of the journey. You've talked to us a bit about, what you guys have done in your careers. So what have been some challenges and takeaways through your career journeys? We have personal journeys, we have academic journeys, but regarding the conversation of career journeys, what have been some challenges and takeaways, and how have specifically support systems impacted your journey?
Yeah, I think my biggest challenge was that just getting started in my career. So for me, I was the first person in my family to go to college. I was the first person in my family to work in government. So just like navigating that space was definitely difficult. I did have a large group of mentors and friends that worked in that space, so they definitely helped me figure it out, which was definitely helpful. But then also having friends and family that aren't in government was really beneficial for me too, because I could lean on them and they would, lend an ear to me. I could vent to them. So I think both those networks and both those people to lean on is important.
For sure. I resonate that with that. People, my support system is definitely what's keeping me through, even to this very day. So for sure. Fernanda?
Thank you. I agree with Destiny too. For me, I would be the first person to go to college in my family. So sometimes it can seem like, even though my parents really want to help, it's like they don't know how. So that's been an obstacle where they want to help, but they don't know how, or they don't know how to help me look for resources or things like that. But I've faced a certain amount of obstacles like in my career, I guess, just because learning how to develop myself in a professional environment. But luckily I've had mentors, like my bosses have been great, and I feel like a lot of my professional and even personal growth, I owe it to them. So it's always good to have people that believe in you, and even if you make a mistake, like they don't look at you like you're done. Like they're like, okay, like you can grow from this. And it's nice to have people that believe in you, and a support system, and friends and family too can be a support system, even if they don't really know sometimes how to give you like the help that you need, like still giving you an ear and just encouragement.
It is spot on, Fernanda. Like for sure. I think something like support systems and having people that in your life that support you and that motivate you is so crucial to our development, right? Like whether it be when we're 15 or in our 20s or even later on in life, I think it's important to have these support systems to help us continue moving forward, right? Because it's all about continuing to move forward, but it's also having those support systems in place to help us with that. And so, you've mentioned some of the challenges that you had to overcome. I'm curious to also know, what you learned from these challenges, and also what have been some of your highlights. So talk to us about some of the pros, some of the positives that you've experienced, some of the, life is all about ups and downs, but let's talk about some of the highlights as well. But first, if you could tell us, what you learned from these challenges. Fernanda.
Thank you. Well, like I said, going into my job, like this job that I have, when I started off as a receptionist, like I had come from different jobs where like I didn't really work in that professional environment. So I just had to like know how to develop myself differently, like, in a more professional way. And working in the city county building, I didn't really see a lot of people that looked like me, like Latinos, that I could relate. So I didn't really have like a lot of friends there or people that I knew. So I had to kind of work on just being able to open myself and like network with people and make friends and get to know people. And like I said, I think this have been my ex-boss and my current boss. They have really believed in me and pushed me, and they have really set an example as to like a person that I want to become and what I want to be a mentor to someone like they've been to me. And they believed in me and given me a lot of chances to grow, learn from my mistakes.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, Fernanda. And also, for me, I think something that I was told growing up is that if you work really hard, you can just be successful. And what I've learned is that that just isn't enough. You need people around you to help you and to lift you up. So just having a support system, is what I learned is the most important thing, in addition to working really hard. And then also, a career highlight for me has just been working in the space that I'm currently working in. I love what I do. I love that my office is leading the way to make the criminal justice system more equitable. So to be able to do that and to be a part of it, it's just so exciting for me.
Yeah, I just want to take a moment and right now and just see that there are 4 Latinos working in city government, and Maria is actually interning for the mayor's office. And so it's just very powerful to have 4 of us here talking about representation, talking about increasing representation and how we can continue to pivot forward, right? They say that when somebody kind of breaks that glass ceiling and is that first to do it, there's a million more just waiting to go through that door. So let us continue to pay and to make an impact in our communities. And for everyone watching, I mean, it's possible, and we're here to help you. So don't feel like, none of us have had it easy. We've had to work for it. We've had to overcome challenges, but that's what a building community is about, right? So thankful for the work that you 3 are doing, and I'll let Maria continue the conversation.
Yes, you all touched on my next question. And, being first generation, being the first, breaking glass ceilings, like, can be, very rewarding. But at the same time, it can, like Destiny said, it's not just about working hard. We have to overcome those other challenges, whether that's mentally, how does that affect us, when we're the only Latino, Latina, in that work environment. So my question is, as Latinas working in government, how would you describe in your perspective the current representation that exists for Latinx professionals within government or within your workspace? And how has that shaped your mindset, and how you continue, to pave the way for those that are behind you? And Destiny, can start off with you.
Yeah, so I mean, the current representation in government for Latinos, it's just not enough. I often find myself being the only person of color in general at the table. I often find myself being the only woman at the table, and it's just not okay. And that's the reason why I strongly believe access is so important, because, if I see a job opportunity where I work, I can send that to anyone in access, and even if they won't benefit from that opportunity, they can send it to somebody else who might be looking for a job. So we're just really creating this network where we can spread, great opportunities, programs, whatever. And it's just so cool to see that. It's so cool to be a part of. It's the only way I can see, there being more representation is when we open the table to other people.
Yes, for sure. I think it's, I don't know, I always try to keep in mind that when you have achieved a specific goal or the highest goal, I don't know, you have to make sure that you're bringing other people up as well along the way. And like you said, I think Access has definitely, is an organization that has created this opportunity where as Latinx professionals, we're able to build that network to be able to share those opportunities, to be able to, have more Latinx representation. So yes. Fernanda, what about you?
Well, again, I agree with Destiny. I think that being in local government, especially Indianapolis, like we don't have as much representation as we would like to have, I think. But it's like, and being an Access, it's like you said, Maria, there's a lot of people in a lot of fields, but it's just like one person, or they're like scattered. So it's always exciting to see somebody like Fabio or Jordan. It's like when I saw them, I was like so excited. I felt like even before talking to them, like I already have an ally, like I have a friend. And so, like you said, it's important to like bring other people and kind of like make a path or pave the way for other people to follow in your steps. And so I remember even seeing the first Hispanic teacher for me, it was so exciting. So kind of being like that, so that it's not so surprising when people see Latinos. Like it's not like, it can just be normal and not as surprising as we feel like it is right now. So I think we're getting there. I've been seeing more Latinos like slowly making their way into local government, and that's very exciting, and it fills me with a lot of hope.
Yeah, I think oh, sorry. I was going to say, I think it's interesting, growing up, your parents are like, quiero que seas doctor, un ingeniero, like, those like, un abogado, all those careers. But I think it's important, that we do, are open-minded about those other careers that are out there and that also need us at the table. So yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, for sure. And like changing the norm, right? Changing and making it normal to see more Latinos, and not just Latinos, but of all communities, right? I feel like supporting each other, like, because our success is, their success, and vice versa, continuing to pave the way for others and inviting others in. And I think that is the key to equitable approaches to increasing opportunities for everyone, and making them more accessible. So I thank you both for both of those answers, because I definitely resonate a lot with them. And I think something that people can take away who are listening right now is that everybody can be the example, right? It's, I didn't know you before Access, but we were all making our own way, paving the way, and sure that common goal is to continue to inspire the youth. I mean, I couldn't have imagined a 15-year-old Fabio looking at, I'm not gonna say age, but looking at a more of a younger adult Fabio now, and it's like, dang, like you did that, bro. But he didn't do it alone. I always say I'm only as great as the people in my corner. And so being able to come together collectively, I think will continue to move the needle forward. So I will ask my last question of the night, and which is, I think you guys touched on it a little earlier, so I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to change it up, and you guys, if that's okay, don't worry. It's going to be pretty simple though. The question is, since you both work in local government, I'm curious to see where you both see what is the future of local government. What's one thing you would like to see for the city of Indianapolis, whether it be economic development, whether it be different access, different projects, different programs. What do you see? What would you like to see in the city of Indianapolis in the next 5 to 10 years? I will start with Fernanda.
So one thing I would love to see, and I think it'll be really, really soon. I would love to see like a Latino or Latina counselor, like a representative. And I know we've been close, but I would love to see that, because we're growing as a community, and we do need representation, and we have great counselors right now. But I think that I would love to see that, and I know that's just going to happen soon. That's So that's one thing I would love to see. And like I said, more Latinos in the building, working in different agencies and departments.
For sure, for sure. I think we have our community members that work our, there's a lot of our community that work different kind of jobs, and it'd be great to see them even more represented in the city county building. So, Destiny, I will let you.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. More representation would be ideal. But I also would like to see legislation that doesn't directly harm people of color, which at the State House seems to be what's happening. Just, decent legislation that is actually trying to help people. That's what I would like to see.
For sure. That's, I think, between representation and policy change, I mean, those two are just so powerful. So, man, I mean, like Fernanda said, I feel like it's closer than we expect. I think, as far as policy change, man, that's going to be work. It's going to take work, but it's going to take representation to make that happen. So let's make it happen, right? I'll let Maria finish this off.
Yes. So talking about where the future holds, to wrap up, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Does that mean that maybe one of you will run for office? I don't know, So where do you see yourself in 5 years? What career goals do you have for yourself? So Destiny, would you like to start us off?
Definitely. Well, for myself, I, fingers crossed, would like to see myself post-pandemic on the beach drinking piña coladas. But professionally speaking, I would just like to continue advocating for people of color, continue advocating for Latinos, and working in a space that allows me to do that.
Yes, I agree with you. We'll see what post-pandemic has for each one of us. Fernando, what about you?
Well, again, I agree with Destiny's first part, the beach part, but both parts, but especially part. But for me, I would like to stay behind the scenes of the council part, but I hope that, I could, my wild dreams, like maybe ascend in my current office and, maybe one day be assistant clerk and just work for the counselors and representatives and just keep working for the community overall to help the city. So that's and obviously finish school, get a bachelor's degree, and just continue my education. So that's where I see myself in 5 years.
Yeah, Fernanda, I think you touched on something like, I think we all want to be there for our community. We all want to advocate for our community and for other minority groups. But it's okay to be in the background. It's okay to have those roles that you're assisting. You don't have to be in the forefront. You don't have to be the one leading the protest or running for office. It's okay to know where you're comfortable at. So thank you for bringing that up. I'll hand it to Fabio now.
Yes, and just to add to that, just one little bit without, because I'm going to get on my soapbox, but I'll say is that it's important for everyone to understand their role, and as a Latino community to support one another, to advocate and to serve together as one, right? And continuing the needle forward, because it takes all of us in all different roles to continue to make change happen. So with that being said, thank you, Fernanda. Thank you, Destiny, joining us tonight. It has been a privilege getting to know each of you just a little bit better, learning how each of you navigated your professional careers in local government. I think it's going to be very rewarding for everyone to hear. Anybody from that's a youth or a young adult, you guys have inspiring stories, and I wish you all the best in your next endeavors. And so please keep us updated. We're going to stay together. We look forward to seeing how much you're going to grow. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We're excited to be able to bring you all new content every month from now until probably the end of the summer. As you guys start getting back, we'll hopefully be going more in person, maybe doing interviews. But next month, we'll be interviewing Latinx educators and scholarship opportunities in our city. So don't forget to subscribe to the Indiana Latino Expo YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I've always wanted to say that. Now it's official.
Yes, muchas gracias a todos por acompañarnos hoy. Estamos emocionados de poder presentarles a los jóvenes profesionales que existen en nuestra comunidad y que son parte del programa Liderazgo de Access. Y para poder compartir estos videos a sus familia y amigos, por favor síganos en YouTube y Instagram y Facebook. Muchas gracias.
Adiós.
Indiana Latino Expo Show.